Anybody in there? Is there anybody in there? There we go. There you are in your familiar little spot, looking at my tree, looking at me. Sorry, I hate eating on screen. Happy Gladder Day to you, whoever is out there. If there is anybody. Happy Gladder Day to everybody. Why would you want to have a Saturday? Why would you want to be sad on Saturday? I'm gonna be glad on Gladder Day. What's up, Jess Palmer? Nice to see you, my friend. Nice, 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 nice. You look like you're glad on Gladder Day. Oh wait, I see some broccoli. I love broccoli. I'm glad about broccoli. I'm glad on Gladder Day. Don't want to be sad on Saturday. I want to see the sun on a Sunday. Tony, nice. And it's flat Earth for the win. Anybody, is it just me, or have you been getting this sort of vibe, like, just in general? There's like a, there was a vibe for a long time that, that flat Earth is kind of crazy. I mean, even though we were all like, we all knew it wasn't. There was like a general vibe, and still is a general vibe like that. But I'm just saying, like, on YouTube right now, just like, even like, just over the whole like course of this awakening, it's been a rough ride, and it's been a long, hard, bumpy ride, but it's starting to look like it's just going to be smooth sailing from here on out, man. We pretty much flushed it out. It's been flushed, and there's a vibe amongst the Globers where it's kind of like they have this sort of defeated look in their face, they're just kind of like, yeah, you're right, I can't prove it. And if it turns out to be this, I guess I'll change my name to, Free the Flat Earth or something. Good morning. Hi. What's up, buddy? Good. Nice to see you. Fight the Flat Earth. What a dumb, I don't know. I don't want to start ripping on people. Maybe they were really genuinely wanting to fight something they thought was stupid. I think at this point, I mean, they could pretty much say, maybe, whether or not to out loud, or but just say to themselves, okay, it's not so stupid, is it? Maybe you don't want to just come out and say that because you got an image to like maintain, but like, I mean, watching Witsit just fucking mop the floor with fucking FTFE yesterday was just like, I mean, pretty much that's about my response. It's just like, that's all I need to say, really, after watching that. I mean, if you're still like all fucking globe, after watching that, I mean, it's just like, oh man, you really aren't getting it, are you? You didn't listen. I mean, that's what, if anybody wants to like bust your balls about flat Earth, I mean, what I would do is I would send them to yesterday's stream with Austin and with Witsit and Craig on Jaronism, debatism, because it was just funny. I mean, it was, and you could see, dude, is just kind of like, the look on his face is like, why am I doing this, man? Like, why do I even try? This is such a losing battle for, he's like, it's becoming pretty evident to the guy that it's just like, I'm talking about Craig, that his image is like, it's being dismantled. His whole idea of like being the correct person in this debate is like, he's not playing that role anymore. You can't see he's not getting as mad as he used to. He's pretty much just like, fuck. He's sort of surrendering to the fact that like flat Earth for the win. I could see the look on his face. He's succumbed to that. He's succumbed to this loss. He's like, I'm not gonna win this debate. Like, I mean, not just this particular one, but just in general. Right? It's a failing argument. And he genuinely wants to see if there's a 24-hour sun in Antarctica. But you know what? For me, sure, that would be bad for flat Earth, I guess, because most people think that that would pretty much debunk flat Earth. But for me, it's like the only way to debunk flat Earth is to leave the Earth and look at it, because we don't know what the fuck's going on in the sky. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like for all we know, there could. I have to admit the sky is kind of arranged in a way to where it does give us like it can sort of give that impression, you know. The globe didn't just come out of nowhere, you know, like the way the star trails are, you know. It's like it's a celestial sphere. You know what I mean? It's like you got them going circles over here, and then they widen, and then they become a straight line at the equator, and then they start circling back the other way. It's a sphere that's split open over our heads. So it's like it's not incredibly abstract to think that maybe it's us that's the sphere. However, like I said before, that comes with a whole lot of other things that you're gonna have to like fucking try to wrap your mind around, which I don't know. I think it would be more logical to accept that there's a sphere, a celestial sphere that's been split open over our heads that we get to observe, versus like we live on a sphere that's in motion, even though we can't measure the motion. But the Earth forms a sphere, even though we can't measure the curvature. But and somehow we're like, there's people that are like in relation to me that are upside down, or I'm upside down to them, and but that's not going to be noticed anywhere by anybody. There's all these things that have to be sort of shimmied in with that idea that okay, we're gonna believe that we live on a globe now because of what we see in the sky. Now you gotta like figure out how in the fuck nobody's upside down or sideways or whatever. I don't know, man. That's the part that really. I mean, I was surprised that was able to. They were able to make that one work. And it's like this thing with gravity. It's like that's the glue that holds it all together. If there was, it's like basically if you can debunk gravity, or if you can't prove gravity, the way gravity has been. I don't even know if there is a running theory. Bent space and time. Like what? Come on, man. Are they just making it deliberately as dumb as possible? So it's just like blatantly like just bogus, like bendy space and time. How the fuck? I mean, that's just like obviously something you can't prove. So, with that in mind, like that's the glue that holds it all together. If gravity is just like this flimsy idea, well then like why aren't we falling off the ball? The ball. It's like, this person who's like 150 miles over that direction from me, even though we both seem like we're standing like, you know, perpendicular to the earth underneath our feet, you know, there's actually like a center that we're both being pulled towards. And however we look like we're like parallel with each other, we're actually being pulled towards the center. It's just such a dumb idea, man. I mean, it's pretty clever, I guess, but it's still stupid. There's no way to fucking say that that's really what's going on. You just need that in order for your thing to be a ball. But there's just certain things about living on a ball that are funny, like my Glober riddle that I made up. The Glober riddle, which I haven't had any Globers, no takers on that one. I had one Glober come into the comments to say like, kids, don't do drugs and make videos on YouTube or you'll end up like this guy. And it's all, kids, don't act like this dude, or kids, don't talk to strangers that you unprovoked on the internet and like you wouldn't talk to them in real life in person, because if you act like some asshole, like it's like they're basically just showing that you're like nobody would talk to somebody like that in person, and if they would, they'd likely get their ass beat. So the fact that you take to the internet to act like that just means you're a spineless fucking jerk, and you didn't even bother trying to answer my riddle, so that means you're also an idiot too. So kids, don't do what this guy just did. It's not a good look. The riddle was, when is the one time you can purchase more of something and have it measure to be less? That's saying something. When can you own something and then go purchase more of it and have it measure to be less of that something? When is that possible? So there's 3 of you in here. You guys should know the answer to this. I mean, if you watch my shows, maybe you just don't listen. But that's a riddle. When is the one time you can own something and buy more of that something and then have it measured to be less? Yeah, you saw it. Okay, good. Right on. Did you see the answering, the corresponding video where I answered the riddle? Maybe. Forever love, I love you forever. Yay. Cool. Here's the one time. This is the Glober riddle. The Glober riddle is, when is the one time you can own something and then buy more of that something and have it measured to be less of that something? It's a Glober riddle. The answer is, when you own the entire northern hemisphere and you buy more property, now you have a smaller property line. Yep, that's the riddle. Funny how the riddle's answer leaves you with more riddles. Wait, how in the fuck does that make any sense? Well, it's just because you live on a globe. I've had Globers come at me with like, "Oh, what? You don't understand how a ball, like a sphere, works? Like, why don't you just go and like take a basketball and draw circles around? You'll see they start to get smaller." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. That's what a sphere. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know what spheres are. I'm familiar with that. I'm trying to make the point that like for Earth to be a sphere, there's certain things that would have to happen that are like, you know, antithetical to like what we've come to understand as being reality. Like that, for instance, like say you own the whole entire northern hemisphere or whatever it's called, and then you buy more property. Technically, you should have a smaller property line if you live on a globe, and that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, what? You just debunked spheres? I'm like, it's like they don't use their mind when they say things. I'm like, so what are you saying? Because a basketball exists, then Earth must be in the shape of one. That's what you're saying. That is what they're saying, actually. Because balls exist, Earth has to be one. That's the level of logic we're dealing with. It's the level of like that's how like well thought out these guys, and they're fucking. I don't know. I mean, I think they're not bots because that's no bot would be that dumb. You're not a bot. Bots would be smarter than this. But you might be bought and paid for. Who knows? Interesting how there's a whole slew of bots that have been unleashed on the flat earthers. Like, why in the fuck would that be a necessity? Why would you get someone to do that? Go heckle the flat earthers endlessly with an army of bots. Does that seem like a fucking something that needs to happen? Like, there's people that like have agendas like that. It's strange. Two can play this. We're gonna send an army of flat earther bots out at the Glovers and heckle them endlessly. Not a bad idea. What would be great is if we could hack into the flat earth hating bots, hack into that software and then like flip the script on them and send them back hating all the fucking Glovers. Yeah, people like Ed Hayes and fucking all these other clowns are starting to support. That'd be rad, dude. What a fun joke that would be. That'd be great. Slap up. Whoosh, 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 back at you, bitch. Two can play this. I always face this way when I play because I feel like you can hear a better mix of the singing and the guitar. Because if I face this way, the guitar's like blasting right at you, and so it overpowers the vocals. But it's kind of a shame because when people walk by, they see my butt crack because my pants are always falling down. That's why I have the camera right there, a little bit above waist level, waistline, waist level. It measured to waist level. The horizon is rising to waist level. It never actually makes it to waist level. You know why? Because it don't curve. There ain't no fucking curve. Go and try to measure it, fool. People that say there's curve haven't tried to measure it. That's the thing. Once you try to measure it, you realize that it's fucking impossible. You get a different measurement every fucking day, even sometimes throughout the same day. And it's like sometimes you're seeing way too fucking far. So the Earth is just like, somehow looking flat, even though it's not. Come on, man. Like, and then you come back at us with like, oh, well, it's because of the refraction, the atmosphere, and it's like, so yeah, you're right. We're seeing all kinds of different measurements, you want to call them, just of distance, because of that atmosphere. You're right. That's exactly what's happening. In fact, that's the only variable that we can really say for sure that we're working with here. So, other than our own eyes, but like maybe perhaps that's the variable, this elusive curvature might, perhaps it's just the atmosphere we're seeing there. Give me a break. You're right, but you haven't gotten all the way right yet. And then, the only other thing you really have to debunk at that point is the motion. We debunked the curvature by saying it's the atmosphere. They gave us the answer. It is. That's what we're working with there. That's what the variable is that we're like fucking being tricked by or whatever, or that's causing us to see way far, or maybe we can't see that far some days or whatever. It's a different time. It's a different measurement every day, basically. So it's obviously the medium we're watching this through. So now let's put that one away, and now we got to work on the motion of Earth, the alleged motion of Earth. All right, so this one's pretty easy. Is the ground moving? Nope. Okay, we're done. It's that easy to debunk the globe. I mean, and from there you got to use all kinds of convoluted, like fucking complexities that, like, are just like doubles. Most of it is like double speak. It's like, what, they're trying to tell you one thing, but then they have this other thing that negates what they just said. But not in their reality. It seems to be like you can just make up shit. It's like it's all relative, except for that it's when certain things get a certain size, then it bends space and time and whatever. I always wondered that when I was a kid. I was like, when do things, like, when is something big enough to where it's actually, like what size do things have to get before they're too big to be orbiting around the sun, where it's just going to start, everything else will start orbiting around that instead, like if some larger thing came into the big picture, would the sun and everything else start orbiting around that, because I mean, if it was bigger than the sun, it would have to cause the sun and everything else to orbit around it instead. If just say theoretically some other bigger, this is the kind of shit I used to think. I'm like, so it's just about how big things are, like, so the sun's the biggest thing here, so that's why we're all going around it. What if just some big piece of dirt came in and it was bigger than the sun? Then the sun would be orbiting that thing. That's pretty wild. Good thing that's not gonna ever happen, because none of that shit's happening. It's like you just get this idea in your mind, like that, like, oh, the solar system. And you've been like, that's how heavy this indoctrination is. We've all like imagined the solar system in our minds because growing up we believed it was real, when in reality, what we're experiencing here is what everybody else has experienced. I mean, have you seen anything orbiting the sun? I haven't. And it's like, it's just all that shit was just all in our minds. It's just on our minds. Nobody's ever witnessed that shit that we were like brainwashed into believing. Nobody's ever seen that. We see what we see. I mean, that's what everybody else sees. We all see the same shit. There's nobody that's got a like better like view of it. Like, yeah, there's some telescopes that are pretty cool, but like, nonetheless, I mean, they're still from this vantage point. Like, oh, well, not James Webb and his fancy tinfoil fucking, yeah, whatever. Lagrange zone. It's in the Lagrange. It's so grand. It's so Grange. Yeah. Hold up. Pretty close. After years. No, I should play a different song. You guys want to hear something quick, something upbeat, something really slow and boring? I was working on my song yesterday, the Crappy Creek. I love Crappy Creek. I think it's a great song. I think it'd just be a good hit. You want to hear Crappy Creek? Come on, say yes, please. Please, Dr. Bass, play Crappy Creek. I want to hear Crappy Creek. It's not Shit Creek, it's Crappy Creek. Oh, Crap Creek without a... Up Crap Creek without a shitter. This man-made mainstream will make you mad and unhappy. How could that be? You might ask me. I tell you, 'cause it's crappy, and this crappy river rolls down this crappy hill. This crappy river rolls past me. I laugh because it's crappy, and this crappy river rolls down this crappy hill, down to the crappy bay where the crap will stay, and people playing crappiness, and I can't find no happiness in this crappy river. Someone slapped me, I almost got trapped. I fucked it up, man. Damn it. Okay, this crappy river. Someone slapped me, I almost got trapped. Back, oh man, I fucked it up. I fucking ruined it. How does it go? Someone slapped me, I almost got trapped back in this crappy mess. No, how does it go? Dude, this what a buzzkill. This crappy river. Someone slapped me, I almost got trapped back in this crappy mess. I guess I want to dip my toes in it, but then I notice I'm knee deep in this crappy creek, drifting further out of reach, down to the crappy beach, in the crappy bay where the crap will stay, and fools will play in cesspools of this nasty mainstream that's so crappy. Yeah, this man-made mainstream will make you mad and unhappy. How could that be? You might ask me. I tell you, 'cause it's crappy, and this crappy river rolls down this crappy hill. Okay, that's enough of that. I clear the phlegm. Been working on my flat earth song. It needs some work. Hi. Hi, Daddy. Once upon a bit, space and time. Once upon a bit, space and time, where you can curve in a straight line and put a dumb idea in your mind and think that it's true. Think that it's true. But once upon a bent space and time, where you can curve in a straight line and put a dumb idea in your mind and think that it's true. But then you find later from a greater point of view that what looked like a straight line to you, a self-applied path that brings you right back in a worldwide attempt to see the end. But there ain't no end, and there ain't no beginning, there ain't no end. There ain't no beginning. You've been circling and circling around, coming full circle on a sound, on a ring that rings and a ring that brings you back around, full circle on a sound. Full circle on a sound, on a ring that rings and a ring till it brings you back around. Now we're skipping to the beat of a redundant drum that comes in on the one and the offbeat. The continuum being ripped. It repeats and repeats and re-repeats. Repeats and repeats and re-repeats. Repeats and repeats and re-repeats. Till I have each nuance interpreted in a response that is quite clever. And you might see me and say whatever, but I'm on my way to break the record. The best way to break to a broken record. Well, you might see me and say whatever, but I'm on my way to break the record. The best way to break to a record that's been broken. You might see me and say whatever, but I'm on my way to break the record. The best way to break to a record that's been broken. And I'm taking a common conundrum, becoming someone I wonder. Maybe this common conundrum that we're under and become someone I'm wondering. A common conundrum that we're all under. I wonder what I would have done here if I hadn't have been someone who wondered. Wonder what I would have done here if I hadn't have been someone who wondered. Full circle on a sound, on a ring that rings and a ring till that brings you back around. Full circle on a sound. Once upon a been space and time. Oh, you can curve in a straight line and put a dumb idea in your mind. I think that it's true. I think that it's true. Well, once upon a bent space and time, or you can curve in a straight line, put a dumb idea in your mind and think that it's true. Think that it's true. It all happened so fast. It happened so fast. It happened so fast. At first you laugh, next thing you know, everyone claps at the end of the show, and you're just supposed to know where your hands go. A round of applause, a round, circle on a sound. A ring that rings and a ring till it brings you back around. Whole circle on a sound. You've just been circling around. Then you find later from a greater point of view that what looked like a straight line to you is the self-applied path that brings you right back in a worldwide attempt to see the end. East to west, you're circling around. West to east, still circling around. East to west, to the north you must correct. Circle every time. You've been circling around. Oh, circle on a sound, on a ring that rings and a ring till it brings you back around. Once upon a bit, space and time, you can curve in a straight line. Put a dumb idea in your mind and think it's true. I think that it's true. Well, me and my uncle went riding down South Colorado, West Texas bound. We stopped over in Santa Fe, that being the point, just about halfway. Well, you know it was the hardest part of the day. I took the horses up to the stall, went to the bar and ordered drinks for all. 3 days in the saddle and you know my body hurt. It being summer, I took off my shirt I tried to wash off some of that dust and dirt. West Texas cowboys, they're all around with the liquor and money. They load it down. It was so soon after payday, you know it seems a shame, but you know my uncle, he starts a friendly game. Is a high-low jack in the winter takes a ham. Starts winning, cowboys got sold, but one of them called him, and then two more accused him of cheating, and I know it just can't be, 'cause I know my uncle, he's as honest as me. Yeah, I'm as honest as a Denver man can be. Yeah, that's me. Well, one of them cowboys starts to draw. I shot him down, he never saw. Shot me brother, damn it won't go. Oh. In the confusion, my uncle grabbed the gold. Yeah, we hightailed him down to Mexico. I love my uncle. No shit, I fucked it up. I love them cowboys, love that gold, love my uncle, God rest his soul. He taught me, good Lord, taught me all I know. He taught me so well, I got that gold, and I left his dead ass there on the side of the road. I fucked that song all up, sorry. Sorry, my bad. Would have been cool. I love my cowboy. I love them cowboys. Love that gold. I love my uncle. God rest his soul. He taught me, good Lord, taught me all I know. He taught me so well. I got that gold. Left his dead ass there on the side of the road. It's like a lovely song about me and my uncle going on horseback riding down in Texas. And you know, then I killed him and took all the gold. What? Well, there's a bunch of other stuff that happened too. That's what the final outcome was. Dominic. Trixie. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark. Trixie, how come you're not barking at me? You always bark. Too busy sniffing things. Oh, Trixie knows me. You still bark at me even though you know me, though. She is a pretty good guard dog. She freaks the fuck out when anybody shows up. It's like this shrill barking. It's like, oh, okay, I'm leaving. She drives the people out just because they can't stand how harsh it is on their ears. It's getting pretty hot right here. It's getting hot right here. What? Of course you can. You don't have to wonder that. He would love to see you. Oh, now you're talking, boy. I'll go with you. Text Gail. Good idea, Dominic. I think you should go with that idea, man. I'm joining you guys if you do. I want to show Brittany their pool, too. It's really nice. It's awesome. It's nice. Could be a good day for swimming. Bring in that spring. Let's go jump in. the pool, go swimming. Call up your homeboys and their women. They thought we were crazy, but flat earth is winning. Boy, Sabine. Everyone's here, all the cool kids here. All the cool kids have showed up for class. What are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to talk about. You guys like my riddle? Was it pretty good? Boy, have you heard my riddle? Voy, do you know? You're a smart guy, Voy. You and your buddy William Shakespeare, I bet they would like my riddle. Want to hear my riddle? I don't think William Shatner or whatever that guy's name is. William T-Cell. I forget his last name. Thompson. T-Cell Thompson. I'm going to call him T-Cell Thompson from now on. Does he think the earth is flat, or is he like too smart for all that? He's a smart guy, but is he smart enough to know the earth is flat? Because this is a riddle for globers. And they should know the answer to this riddle if they believe in their globe. And I'll tell you the riddle in case you hadn't heard it, in case I haven't run it into the ground. When is the one time you can own something, buy a lot more of that something, and have it measured to be less of that something? Faith, I love you. What are you doing here? That's awesome. You're naked though. I'm gonna put you in a blue outfit here real quick. There we go. Now you're blue. Don't come in here naked. That's embarrassing. Okay, well, I'll answer the riddle for you. Since you're not globers, you probably don't understand what I'm talking about. When the one time you can own something and buy more of that something and have it measured to be less of that something, I'll tell you the answer. When you own the entire northern hemisphere and you buy some more property, like a shitload more, now you have a smaller property line. There you go, because you live on a globe. It's a glober riddle. Only globers would get it. Because it's ridiculous. Bodie, good boy, Bodie. What are you barking at? My neighbor leaves, her dog barks at him. Just bark, 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 bark. It goes on for hours. I feel so sorry for him. It's getting hot right here. It's getting hot right here. It took a 15 minutes for the town to burn down. And 15 minutes to hear the fuck out. And getting 15 minutes to put up a fence around it. And now the feds and the FBI, they're all along for the ride. Got to make sure that no one gets inside. Ooh, 15 minutes, boy, it ain't pretty. Getting down to the nitty gritty. Got to make way for that 15 minutes city. Won't be like suckling off a nipple of a phony titty. No sustenance at all. It's so suspect, sustainable development. It was a direct hit, and so it seems. Directed energy beams, and when the metal melts down the road, there's a different story to be told. When the trees don't burn, and rest your ass, there's a lesson to be learned. 15 minutes, boy, it ain't pretty. Down to the nitty gritty, got to make way for the 15 minutes city. Gonna be like suckling off a nipple of a phony titty. No sustenance at all. It's so suspect. That's a sustainable development. I'm gonna have to move into the shade. And I'm bringing my lemonade. It's hotter than the devil's leg. It's hot enough to cook an egg on the sidewalk. It's hotter than shit. It's too hot for a gay parade. You better go get some ice cold Gatorade and get it made in the shade. It's hotter than the devil's leg. Hot enough to cook an egg. Better sell some pink lemonade. I'm gonna go cook up scrambled eggs. I'll cook every egg that's ever been laid. It's so hot out here, it's hot in the shade. Planting? Yes, planting has been happening here, dude. We've got everything planted. We got some honeydew melons that just came up. Stoked about that. I've never grown honeydew. Honeydew, you grow honeydew? I said, honey, do you grow honeydew? Where am I going to set this here thing? I'm going to go like this. I'm setting it on this upper tier. I made like little sort of tiers. What do they call it? Tiers? I don't know. I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. Terraces. I'm going to set you down here in the miner's lettuce. Eat miner's lettuce. I'll show you what that miner's lettuce looks like. Looks like this. It's for the miners. They eat it. Looks like lettuce. It is lettuce for miners. A little bit of anise right here. Anise. It's a licorice plant. You know, fennel. Fentanyl. No, it's not fentanyl. It's fennel. You don't got no fentanyl plants growing in your yard, do you? It's called anise. Anise. I'm like, oh my, I have a whole jungle of anise. I have a jungle in my anise. And it's about time to... You missed the joke. I'll tell you again. You know what I don't like about NASA? They're kind of creepy. Every time I tune into a NASA stream, they always got to mention my anus for some reason. They're always talking anus. I don't get it. It's weird. They say things. They're like, we're going to go to my... They say they're going to go to my anus. One time they even said it's raining diamonds on my anus. I'm like, dude, I mean, you guys, it's weird enough that you talk about my anus all the time, but now you're going to say it's raining diamonds. That's a lie. That's a lie. They said it's raining diamonds on my anus, and it sure as fuck ain't. Should be. That'd be cool. I'd be down with that. I'd be down with raining diamonds on my anus. Why not? It's a good idea, I guess. But it's a lie. I mean, those guys just can't tell the truth. It's against their policy. I mean, it's like the whole thing is just built on lies. And I realized that when I realized that they were saying things about my anus that weren't true. They even said they're going to go to my anus. They never been there. Only thing they said that was right, actually, about my anus is that they said there was a black hole in my anus. Okay, that's enough of that joke. Let's go on to another joke. It's all about the jokes. It's a big joke, really. And it's like the people that believe in all that crap, well, they're the butt of the joke. So we have these butts of joke coming and heckling us. It's a bass-backwards world, man. And everything's been hurled into obscurity, and we can barely see the way it used to be. Living in a bass-backwards world, everything is been turned upside down. They want to shake the devil out. Living in a bass-backwards world, everything has been hurled into obscurity, and we can barely see the way it used to be. Living in a bass-backwards land, no one seems to understand or be able to make any sense of it. Everything's been inverted, perverted, subverted, while we've all been herded like cattle to the slaughterhouse. Ouch! Oh no! Oh, everything's been turned upside down. They want to shake the devil out. Once upon a been space and time, you can curve in a straight line, put a dumb idea in your mind and think it's true. Well, people call this not true at all. The earth is flat, it ain't a ball. You thought they all were kidding you, and you used to laugh about all the things we were talking about, but now you don't seem so proud. Now you don't laugh so loud. Now that it's become apparent that your shit ain't real. Real. Oh, how does it feel? Ooh, how does it feel when you find out that you're home? You're safe here under the dome. It's a stationary zone. Well, you went to the same school we all did. That's cool, but you know they never really taught you anything shit. No one ever taught you how to go out and actually prove anything for yourself, and you just got used to it. Now you seem to be compromised as you stare up into the vacuum of the sky and say to yourself, is this even real? Oh, how does it feel? Hey, how does it feel to find out you're safe here under the dome? And it's a stationary stone. Stationary stone. Well, you never turned around to see the frowns on the Neil deGrasse clowns when they played their tricks on you. You never understood that ain't no good. You shouldn't let people like that tell you what the fuck is true. I just drank a bug. You will drink the bugs. Dominic! Hi. Now you're walking the other dog? That's funny. It's cute. You can't take them both together? Oh, there's Lola. Oh, yeah. Is there a dead bird? Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did it get run over by a car? Oh, bummer. The insides are outside. That's not a good thing. That don't work too well. Nope. That lizard met his end. Driving down the road one day, somebody hit a lizard. What? Who? Oh, yeah, R.I.P. Okay, right, yeah. Rest in peace, Rip Van Winkle. Rest in peace, Rip. Rest in peace, Van Winkle. Is he asleep or is he dead? Rip Van Winkle. Rip Van Winkle. Is he asleep or is he dead? Rest in peace, Van Winkle. What kind of name is that, anyway? The red-headed Step Van Winkle. Rest in peace, Van Winkle. Sorry. My mind just goes off on all these weird tangents. Sometimes I do it out loud too. It's called talking. I hate when people say, "Oh, I was just talking out loud." Well, that's what talking is. You mean thinking out loud, which is what talking is. Yes. I was just talking out loud and thinking quietly to myself. Trouble with a capital T. Time down, they say, but tired ain't for me. Let this one fly, let it fly. I wonder what they'll make of me when I'm good and gone and sung in God's country. Let this one fly, fly off on your merry way. 'Cause unrevealed and tucked away on your merry way. 'Cause unrevealed we'll never know, we'll never know, we'll never know. Trouble with people like me, tie them down and then they vanish instantly. Let this one fly. It's really no problem, you see, when the sky ignites and the days crash quietly. Let this one fly, fly off on your merry way. 'Cause unrevealed and tucked away on your merry way, your merry way. 'Cause unrevealed we'll never know, we'll never know, we'll never know, we'll never know. The cause is unknown. We'll never know. The cause is unknown. But you better try to keep your head on. Keep your head on. Head on. Better try to keep your head on. Keep your head on. Keep your head on. It's hard to keep your head on. It's hard to keep your head on. When you head off into the sunset. The headless horseman he rides into the sunset. Don't change your name, keep it the same. Fear I might lose you again. I know you won't, it's just that I'm so unorganized. I wanna find you when something could happen. go to town. I haven't been there in years. Well, I'd be fine, just wasting time, not doing anything here, just doing nothing. Just doing nothing. We'll drift for days, talking about things important to us, like whatever. We'll defuse bombs, walk marathons, take on whatever together. Whatever together. Take on whatever together. Whatever together. Whatever take a little break here. I gotta get on some Schwartz. I'll bring you with me, but you're not gonna be able to see me changing because that's kind of silly. I'll just put this phone down while I change into Schwartz. There's two sides to every Schwartz. You get the upside, and I got the downside. I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. Let's see how you use it. It's Mega Maid. She's gone from suck to blow. I like saying that. It's a good joke too. It's like, oh. The only vacuum I ever seen in space was Mega Maid. And she had to open the firmament to suck the air out, so it's kind of a moot point. If you hadn't seen Spaceballs, then where the fuck you been? The only vacuum I ever seen in space was Mega Maid. And she still had to open the container to get that air sucked out. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. It's the truth drop indeed. Those guys know that the earth is flat. Thanks for that. That's why it's such a comedy. These Spaceballs, they're so funny because it's fake. All that shit was fake. It was all done in a movie theater. That's where it took place, took root in your mind. The only place you ever seen no solar system is on the TV screen. And in your imagination. And the cartoons that you were trained to believe are true. Oh, it's like stereo. Are you hearing what I just now said, or is it? That's funny. Oh, baby. Sorry. Well, you could probably take a couple ibuprofen.
I know, I probably should. I'm just gonna try it.
I know. I'm sorry. It's because your hands are elevated, taking care of your hair and stuff. But I know you got it.
I'm just putting lotion on my feet. I thought they were getting better yesterday. I guess it's just a nice slow process.
Yeah, well, it's about where they're, I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. I know it's hard to do that though. It's kind of impossible to do that all day. All right, what are we gonna do here? I'm gonna play some more music, but I gotta find like a shady place to do that. Well, the real Slim Shady, shut the fuck up. I used to like Eminem, like when he did a couple songs that I really liked when I was younger, when I was a wee. Result. Pain pills is fucking crazy. You know, he's like, quick, someone hand me a Snapple. I got an Adam. Quick, someone hand me a Snapple. I got an aspirin capsule trapped in my Adam's apple. That's some good rap right there. Quick, hand me a Snapple. I got an aspirin capsule trapped in my Adam's apple. Oh, Eminem. The fuck's he talking about? It's funny though. Any man who jump in front of a minivan for 20 grand and a bottle of pain pills is fucking crazy. I think he said something about a mini thin. Mini thins. You guys remember mini thins? Mini thins, those things were gnarly, dude. Oh my god, I can't believe they used to sell those. Mini thins. It was basically like these little speed pills. They're like trucker speed, you know, you could buy them at 7-Eleven. I think it was just ephedrine. I forget exactly what the actor. I think it was just plain ephedrine. I don't think it was Sudafed. Maybe it was Sudafed. But it was a high dose, and it was like, you know, as kids, like we snorted those things. I mean, you get all fucking jacked up on those things. I was up for a couple days on mini thins, like over the counter, like the shit you do when you're a kid, man. It's just, it was readily available, you know, over the counter speed. Fucking weird. That shit's so not available now. And I do believe that is a good thing. That shit wasn't legit. That wasn't safe. It shouldn't be something you could just go buy over the counter like that. That's crazy. I mean, it's made out of the same things they make speed out of. Mini thins. You guys don't remember mini thins? Maybe you weren't as crazy as I was when I was a kid. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was never like a junkie or anything like that. I got a phobia of needles for one thing. That's always worked well for me. Especially 4 years ago when it became trendy to want to stick a needle in your arm constantly. I'll be right back. Gotta grab a smoke. Enjoy the weather. Come to think of it, that's kind of funny that it would even be called like a phobia of needles. Or he's got a phobia. I mean, he's got common sense. Well, good for him. Hope he hangs on to that. I mean, it's almost like a psyop right there. Oh, he's needle phobic. Phobia. No, that's just common sense, man. Nobody should be like cool with that. There, I'm connected again. I'm connected. Because if you don't know what's in the syringe, how can you really sign away that this was all your idea? This is the logic I want to break down here. It's like, you got to sign away your right to do anything about it if something bad happens to you when you get a shot, an experimental shot. You got to sign away. What they're saying is basically like, you're signing here basically admitting that this is all your idea. Like, it's all on you. This is your idea. But how could it be my idea if neither one of us knows what the fuck is in that syringe? That doesn't check out. That's like, how could any of us have that idea? It's like, this is all my idea. To have someone inject something into me and neither one of us even knows what the fuck it is. It's an idea I had. Well, how can you have an idea like that if you don't know what it is? You know what I mean? It's like this unknown. Go gather an unknown. Well, you can't, because then if you gather it, then you know what it is. So my idea was, now let me get this straight. My idea was to have somebody else gather something and make this concoction and then provide it to you to give to me. So therefore, none of us know what's in it except for that person who's not part of this equation here. And now I got to sign that it was my idea. Huh, okay. Yeah, there's no chemtrails. Sometimes I like to not even say it because I'm worried I'm going to jinx it. Like the weather forecast from here on out is like, we have beautiful skies with a chance of tic-tac-toe. Yes, it's beautiful. I was watching Dean stream earlier. They were playing some Dr. Bass songs over in, where is it? Where do they live? It's over in Europe. Skull in here? I got a whole crew of really good people in here. This is awesome. It's all about quality, not quantity. Stationary pizza? Fuck yeah. Right on. I love you guys. You guys are so cool. You make it worthwhile. I thought you said skull as in skull is silent. I don't see him. Lev. I love Lev too. You'll love it at Levitz. You guys know that little ditty? Levitz. It was like this place. I don't know what it was, but it was a little jingle that stuck in my head. Like ever since I was a kid. Was like, you'll love it at Levitz. I used to make fun of it. You'll love it at Levitz. You'll love it or leave it and leave it at Levitz. You'll love leaving Levitz. You'll levitate right out of there. You'll love leaving Levitz. You'll love it or leave it at Levitz. If you don't love it, then leave Levitz. You'll love leaving Levitz. You'll love it and leave it. You'll love to leave it at Levitz. I went on for hours like that. I'm sure it bugged the fuck out of my parents. I thought it was funny. I still do. My parents were like rolling their eyes up. God, not the Levitz thing again. Because it would come on the radio. They always listen to the radio. And it was like this commercial. You'll love leaving it Levitz. And going on for hours. It's just because it's so boring listening to the radio. When I was a kid, I used to have to listen to the radio with my parents when they listened to the radio every day. The newscasters, that voice they have, it's like, White House today declared, blah, 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 the fucking Congress and all this. They say all this official sounding, all this like fucking meaningless fucking shit. As a kid, you're just like, well, whatever. They're just saying a bunch of shit that doesn't make any sense. I don't understand it. Then you grow up and you listen to it again. You're like, oh my God. Like what it boils down to is that they're just figuring out who to give shit tons of money to. Like, why don't we get some shit tons of money? Like they're just giving away money to. That's all they ever do is like, okay, we're gonna gather it in Congress today, and we're gonna give $1 billion to this other country over here, and $1 billion to these people, and 500 million over here. And it's like, what? What are we, like the money machine or something? Like I want some of that. Kick down, dude. You guys are fucking making with all the money, man. Give me some. That's all they ever do is give money to people. Why don't they give it to us? I mean, that would be some good news. You know what? Notice how there's never any good news on the news? I mean, that's like an old trope, but it's like fucking for real. I mean, it's like if it was really news, then there would be some good news every once in a while, but it's not really news. It's just manipulation. They should call it the manipulation. The 11 o'clock manipulation. Today on the manipulation, we're going to manipulate you with some fear tactics and some fear porn, and we're going to make you try to hate your neighbor and hopefully want to go to war with some other country that you don't know anything about. That's what we're going to do today. Going over the manipulations. This is our story. Our story. These are all our manipulations that we're going to cover today. This manipulation has to do with a bunch of people over in this other country that are blowing up these other people. And we want to help to continue to blow them up. So we're going to try to manipulate you into thinking that those other people are the worst people because they blew up some people one time too. So we got to blow them all up. And if there's people get caught in the crossfire, well, that's just the way war works, So give them some money. And then these other people over here, they're like our buddies, even though they're not really officially our buddies, but they're our buddies. And so then Russia started being aggressive, because Russia was mad. And they're just mad because they're just so aggressive. They're just mad. And they come and just blow people up for no reason because they're just so mad. Sure, it didn't have nothing to do with the fact that there was like people blowing up Russians first. I'm sure it wasn't the other guys that threw the first stone. You guys got some double standards going on over here. Are there children watching? Oh, sorry, I'll try to wash my mouth. I'll try to wash my mouth out with soap. And then you find later from a greater point of view that what sounded logical to you is actually completely whack. Hey, Jack, did you have to get a jab? Jack, did you have to get 2 jabs? Jack, did you get your job back? Oh, Jack, at the snack shack. Jack had to get a couple jabs to get his job back at the fucking snack shack, yeah. And Jack had to get a couple more jabs just to keep his dumb job flipping flapjacks. Jack, that's whack. That you had to do that, Jack. What? What's that? Jack had a heart attack? And then his work says he can't come back. Well, that's whack! Jack! You shouldn't have done that! Jack, imagine that! That's whack! You shouldn't have done that! Oh, Jack, imagine that! You shouldn't have done that! Jack, that's whack! Jack, that's whack! Jack, that's whack! That's just so whack! Jack, be nimble, Jack, be quick. Jack did not avoid that shit. Oh, Jack, be nimble, Jack, be quick. Jack gets stuck with the poison pill. Jack, be nimble, Jack, be quick. Jack gets sick and died. That's not a very pleasant song. I'll play something more pleasant. Let's see. I've been working on this song for a long time. It's a long song. It's a long song I've been working on for a long time. It's a song about time I've been working on for a long time, and it's kind of a timely song, actually. I think it's about time this song be played. I've been playing it for a long time, and it's a long song about time, so it's about time this song is played for a long time. It's the time for this song. After years and years and years of what appears to be research, digging in the earth, reworking things for what it's worth. It seems we found out that there's nothing to find out. You see, the fact is we don't know the facts. The fact is we don't know the facts. We've been acting like we do for so long now, and it's hard to backpedal with your foot in your mouth. So we're just kind of waiting for everyone to figure it out. And pretty much the only thing that we can say for sure is true is that time eventually catches up with you. I could go back in time and have a word with myself, first thing I'd say is, hey, settle down. Don't lose your cool. Better have a better poker face if you're gonna be breaking so many rules all the time. You know your place and your part, so go play with all your heart. Don't start looking like some kind of has-been that never really was. Yeah, it is what it is. Unless it isn't, then it ain't. You're gonna faint from being so stressed. So if you're gonna take some time off your feet, then you should try not to miss a beat. Because forward is the only way through. Time is catching up with you. It's catching up with you. Time catches up. Look, here it comes. Time catches up with you. It catches up with you. Yeah, time catches up with everyone. Doesn't matter now which way you go. Time will track you down as you go. It doesn't matter now which way you turn. Time is always gonna be right there. And it doesn't really matter now which way that you stare. Wherever you look, time will be right there. Let go of the time catches up, don't you know? Time catches up with you. It's catching up with you. Time catches up. Look, there it goes. And you can see now how much I really care. That's why I'm right here and I'm no longer over there. And I know that style, man. I've seen that style before. But it's like a style that's not in style anymore. Well, these days everything's been redone, rerun, rehashed, revamped, thrown back in your face again and again. See if you can fly, but it just can't. As if they didn't make enough cash on the flip, that's why they gotta keep going back to it like some kind of one-hit wonder that never really hit. It just gets overplayed. Fuck. Well, I hope you have a nice weekend. I'm not trying to dumpster dive off the deep end. It just kind of gets on my nerves and I keep hearing the same shit over and over and over. See some people do something new. Think you can try to speak and believe in something true. Think, try to speak and do something new. Think, speak, and believe. catching up with you after years and years, years and years and years of what appears to be research. Dirty work, digging in the earth, reworking things for what it's worth. It seems we've found out that there's nothing to find out. That was it. That was it. Nothing. The big secret is there is no big secret. So shh, don't tell anyone the nothing, the big nothing that we're not supposed to talk about. The big secret is there is no big secret. Nobody knows shit. The shape of the earth? Yeah. Well, you kind of have to leave Earth in order to know that. And since nobody's done that, and the people that claim to have done that, well, they sure haven't fucking joined the conversation after 9 fucking years. I'd say it's pretty sus that they haven't joined the conversation. There's millions of us. There are even famous people talking about it now. Earth is flat. Well, you mean, what you should just say is astronauts are all liars. What you should say, that'd be more accurate. Because we don't really know the shape. We haven't left and looked at it. We're not allowed to. We can't do that. It's not possible. You can make up all kinds of fucking grandiose tales if you want. It's fine. Seems to work for you guys. The rest of us that actually bother to look at the shit you're saying realize that it's a joke. It's like lowbrow fucking crap. It's garbage. It doesn't hold up at all. It doesn't hold up under the microscope or the telescope. The full scope is a joke. I mean, it's a really big joke. It's the biggest joke I think ever been pranked on mankind. I think it wasn't even maybe a joke in the beginning. I think it's really something they thought they were so smart for having figured out. They're all excited, you know. So clever, so crafty and smart. So like they made all these observations like maybe we're seeing these things because of this. And they just got carried away. And people that wanted to seem smart and sort of like, you know, all like, you know, like they're all like muck fucking cool guy shit. They're all smarty pants, all knowing all fucking superior knowledge. You know, oh, the Earth is actually a ball. You know, oh, really? Well, that's rather crazy, but it's really some, you know, high level intellect you have there. You know, and there's all fancy pants. Everyone's like, I want to be fancy. I'm going to learn about that too. I want to be fancy. I want to talk science, fancy. Science sounds fancy. It's all fancy. And then just started talking all fancy and sciencey. And after a while, they're like, we never really proved this, though. Well, maybe we should like go and check it out. You know, this guy said he tried to sail around Antarctica and it took him fucking 3 years or something, and he charted like fucking 60,000 miles. Maybe we should go check that out because if it's a big circle around us, that would be a lot different than what we're telling people. So let's send some guys down there and go check it out. There's like all kinds of land down there we haven't checked out yet. What? And there's a lot more out there actually. Really? Well, let's try to keep that under wraps, maybe. Let's keep that place off limits for now, till we get it all sussed out, you know. Yeah, okay. In the meantime, I want you guys to start planning out some kind of space mission. Let's go to the moon. You know, let's do that so we can look back on Earth and like show everybody how spherical and beautiful it is, how fragile and how majestic. Let's capture that and share it with the world, so they can continue believing this shit that probably isn't even real. So you really want to go to the moon? Well, we'll look into it. You know. Okay, we looked into it. It's not going to happen. The moon moves with us. It's sort of fucked up. It's like trying to go to the rainbow or something. It's just not going to happen. Well, okay. Well, let's just pretend we did it then. Perhaps they even went so far as to pretend they did the moon landing and still thought maybe they were actually living on a globe. You never know. Maybe they actually were just like, well, we can't get there, but let's just do it and pretend we did it. You know, and what we think the Earth looks like from the moon. We'll just make like some drawings. And perhaps they really believed it. I kind of think not, but you could almost give them that, you know. But at this point now, where we've actually come out and like fucking sussed out all the fucking, you know, we've gone through so much of it, you know, we've combed through miles of information, and you always end up at the same wall, which is like, well, you basically have to trust these people at their word. who've been lying about so many other things. It's like, well, that's bullshit. I gotta trust a government agency. That's what it boils down to. Well, fuck me running. I don't. Just out of principle, like that's any entity that calls itself the government, which means mind control. I kind of tend to take with a grain of salt whatever they say. It's probably it's a good way to go about things, I would say, especially when it comes to your worldview. It's kind of like it's a personal thing. I don't think you should really let them dictate to you what exactly is fucking going on because they tend to tell you lies. And like I said earlier, NASA lies. They always talk about my anus. They're perverts. I don't know why they always want to go to my anus and talk about it, but they don't. They don't go to my anus. I don't know. It's none of their business, really. They should just keep my anus out of their mouth. Every time you turn it on, it's all Uranus this, Uranus that. It's weird, man. So I became a flat earther. There's a soundbite for you. Sorry, I just ruined the movement. Sorry. Well, when is the one time you can own a lot of something and buy more of that something and have less of it? No, have it measured to be less. When is the one time you can own a lot of something and then buy a lot more of that same something and have it measured to be less of that something? I'll tell you when. When you own the entire northern hemisphere and you buy more property, now it measures less. You have a smaller perimeter. How the fuck does that happen? I don't know. Well, you live on a ball. That's about the only way that could happen. But does it really check out? How could it measure to be less? I don't get it. That doesn't make sense. So we're just circling the land now that we don't own? And that's the property line? What about the other side of the property? That comes all the way back to the same. That don't make sense, man. That just don't make sense. There's got to be another end. Oh, no, there isn't. Well, that's where your brain just kind of does a loop-de-loop and it flops back over on itself. You're like, okay, well, I concede. I believe in it then because there's just no way to try to understand it. I just have to believe. It's all about philosophical beliefs. It's not about scientific understanding. No, fuck no. Fuck no. Are you kidding me? Scientifically, it doesn't check out at all. That's why it's a philosophical belief. It's a principle, a Copernican principle we all must adhere to. We all have to have a bias because we say so. The bias. Let's all bias ourselves towards this thing that we can't prove. It's a great idea. And we'll conduct many experiments that will fail. And we'll call those experiments failures because we're so scientific. Why? Because the guys conducting the scientific experiments didn't know how to do scientific experiments. No. They conducted them quite well. And then they got the results, which were failures. So you have a result from a scientific experiment that was performed correctly, and the result is a failure. Let me think about that for a second. I would say that perhaps it's the other way around. It's the hypothesis that failed and not the result. Is that how we look at science usually? Is that what science is supposed to be? Right here, what this is called the impossible eclipse. It happens on a schedule. What? Well, that's the lunar eclipse that happens while the sun is still above the horizon. Really? Well, they didn't teach me about that in school. No, because it's the impossible eclipse. Well, but it's on a schedule. It happens. So can you really rightfully say that it's impossible? Yes, because it shouldn't happen. Well, but it is happening, and it's on a schedule. So let's get to the bottom of this here. What is impossible about it? Well, what's impossible about it is because it's supposed to be Earth's shadow eclipsing the moon, but the sun is still right there, visible above the horizon. So it seems impossible because how is it casting a shadow of Earth onto the moon when it's right there? Oh, I see. That is kind of impossible. But it's not the eclipse that is impossible, though, because it's happening. So perhaps it's your hypothesis that's fucking impossible. Why do you got to be so bass backwards? And why does it take a reverse psychologist to get to the bottom of this? I mean, come on, people. Oh, well, we can prove the Earth is a globe. We just got to go out and measure the curvature. It's easy. You just go out there and then we see how much stuff is, see what's visible. And like what isn't visible is obviously hidden behind the curve of Earth. Oh, okay. That's how that works. What about the times when we can see those things that are supposed to be hidden behind the curve of the Earth? Oh, that's due to the atmospheric conditions. So how can you prove that that this whole thing isn't just because of the atmospheric conditions. I mean, perhaps that's the only variable we're working with, other than our eyeballs. Perhaps there's no curve, and we're just seeing atmospheric conditions, and our visual. We can't see forever, right? Because the further away you get, the more stuff that has to be compressed in your field of vision. I mean, it's obvious that there's like a point where all lines connect. It's like right where you're at. And like things further away you get, all those things have to be crunched into that one little, you know, vanishing point. You don't know about the vanishing point. You don't know about perspective. Well, perhaps that's all we're working with. So the other claim, the motion. Well, let's see the motion. Oh, okay, so the Earth is supposed to be moving. All right. Well, let's test the motion. Is the ground moving? Nope. Okay. So, well, it's pretty easy to debunk that. Well, thanks for watching. I love you guys. Don't be strangers in my echo chamber. I love it. I love you guys.